This podcast is part of the Podcast Arcade Network.
Hello and welcome to the Covert Nerd Podcast. Thanks for listening. It means a lot to me that you take the time out of your day to hear what I have to say. Before we go any further, I want you to take a moment and pause this podcast episode and share it with somebody you think would like this subject. If they are Cobra Kai fans or Karate Kid fans, please take a second and share it with them and let them know about the podcast. If you see any other episodes in the list that would interest some other people too, let them know. I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's dive right in and nerd it up with Jesse and Ruth. Hey everybody, we got Jesse and Ruth back for a part 2 of Cobra Kai. I'll put a link in the show notes for the previous episode that we talked about season 1, season 2 of Cobra Kai, but we're going to come back for season 3 and discuss what we think of season 3 and what we don't like and do like. And then the exciting part I like is the predictions for season 4. So Jesse and Ruth, thanks for coming back again to talk about one of the shows that you really love.
Hello. Thanks for having us back.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yes. All right. I'm glad you guys are here. Jesse, we'll start with you real quick because you are a karate expert, I guess, for lack of a better word, but let everybody know that we do have somebody that knows the martial arts here. Jesse, tell everybody kind of how long you've been doing it, what kind of martial arts you do.
Ooh, I'd have to do math. I'm just going to say I've been doing it since 1992, December of 1992. So kind of the tail end of that year. It was a Christmas gift from my mother, and I've been doing it ever since. Took a little bit of break in college just because I needed to student teach. So I took about 6 months off then, but pretty consistently I've been doing the martial arts since then. So well over 25 years.
And wow. And you do have a black belt, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Now, the question everybody wants to know, Jesse, did you win the All Valley tournament, the under 18 tournament?
No, actually, I'm not very good at tournament fighting. I'm not very good at point fighting in general. But probably the coolest thing I ever did in a tournament was I'm facing off against this guy, and we both throw the same kick. And it's
was it a crane kick?
Yeah, kick.
No, it's a difficult one to explain, but it actually happened in season 2 in the mall fight. That one kick where Robbie kicks Hawk out of the air. That's like a spinning. It's called a spinning wheel in my style. It's called a circulating kick in like Taekwondo style. And so we basically did that same kick, and our legs got hooked because you whip back.
Oh no!
So our feet both passed each other, and we were locked at like knee to knee. Like our knees were locked. It was crazy. It was like if you were going to do arm wrestling, but with your legs, kind of thing with your knees. And so that's the coolest thing. Like I lost that match, but I was like, you know what, that was so cool.
I think in that case you both won.
Right. Somebody got a picture and it wasn't of that moment. I wish they would have got a picture of that.
That would have been awesome.
But, I did get a picture of me doing like my signature move, which is the sneaky fake kick up to the head. And somebody got a picture of that. I was like, you know what? Good enough. Better than any trophy.
That's so awesome. I love that story. Locking legs. You guys, I bet you guys were both like, were you laughing or was it embarrassment?
A little bit. It was like a little frustrating too, but like you have these big clunky padded like shoes on when you're doing tournament sparring, and so it was like we're both standing up on one leg with our other leg up in the air, hooked together, and so we had to like take a second to unwind, like to undo that, and then restart.
That's awesome. With that, Jesse, let's see if you can give the Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do some tips, maybe how not to get leg locked in the tournament. But what overall, I guess maybe the kind of the 1 minute summary or your impressions of season 3, Ruth. Let us know maybe in 1 to 2 minutes, what was your impression of season 3?
I definitely thought that season 3 was going to be my least favorite season, just because they did have to like rebuild so much with like Miguel and Robbie and Tori and Sam and all of them. I thought it was going to be like a really slow season and like nothing was going to happen, but that definitely wasn't true at all.
Yeah.
The first like 2 or 3 episodes, they're a little bit slower, but as the season continues, it gets very interesting and exciting. Like I literally watched the whole thing in like 3 or 4 days, which is not normal for me. I do not binge shows, but that I was able to binge and it was so good. And I also didn't, when I was watching it, I didn't expect it to end like that. Like I was like, oh, there's another episode. Like it's going to keep going. And I was like, oh, nope, that's the end of the season. Okay, now I have to wait like a year or whatever for the next one to come out. But I think the biggest thing that I was surprised about is how they brought Allie back.
Let's talk about that. The characters they brought back were the 2 big ones. Well, 3. Chosen, Allie, and his girlfriend from season 2 or episode or
Kumiko.
Yeah.
So those 3 they brought back. What did you think, Jesse, about bringing those 3 back? How did they handle it, or what was your impressions?
Well, as soon as we found out that they were going to go to Okinawa, and like that news leaked pretty early on, it would have been a real shame if they didn't bring both of those characters back, especially since those 2 particularly are still alive and very active, acting and doing all sorts of stuff. So it seemed like a no-brainer, and I was excited. I was excited that they did, because I mean, just because they're alive and available doesn't mean that they're going to be available to do this. I thought they handled it really well too.
Yeah.
Like I had just watched Karate Kid 2 before, like maybe the week leading up to the season 3 drop, and sometimes that's a good idea and sometimes that's a really bad idea.
yeah
Because you set expectations that can't be met. But in this case, I was very pleasantly surprised with how they tied in all the Karate Kid 2 Tomy Village stuff in.
Yeah, like the girl that he saved, and she was the president of marketing for Diona.
So
I was like, wow, what a way to write those in. What about Allie, Ruth? You were going to talk about Allie.
Okay. I have some opinions on Allie. I like Allie, like, I guess in general as a character, but the thing that I don't like about her is that in the first Karate Kid movie and in Cobra Kai, she's painted as like a really, like a perfect person. Like everything in her life is perfect.
Yes.
Like she has a good job, she has kids, like she has an ex-husband, like she's divorced, whatever. But that's not like a character flaw, because like Johnny and Daniel have character flaws, and there are times that you don't like them and you don't like their decisions.
Sure.
And then there's also times that you completely agree with them. But Allie in the movie and also in the TV show, like there's nothing bad about her, which kind of annoys me a little bit. She's too perfect.
Well, they tried to do it with the divorce, so that was her out as the not perfect. But that was that was.
But just everyone just loves her, and I don't know, that just like I don't like it when characters are like that. I don't know why, but
yeah. Well, I think they did a good job though on bringing her back to provide some closure for both Daniel and Johnny. So
I did like that. Yeah.
So you kind of close the book on anything going on between any of those people. And you also gave the super fans that excitement of having all 3 of them back again. And I know, Jesse, I mentioned this in our chat about using old characters to put over new characters. And so I think they did an excellent job in using the old guard from the old Karate Kid movies, bringing Chosen back and Allie and all that to help push the new generation forward. Is kind of my thought. So I didn't mind having Allie there. I thought that was good. It didn't break up Johnny and Carmen because I didn't want to see that.
Right.
I was really scared that they were going to do that. I'm like, I feel like they're just going to put Johnny and Allie together just because like fans would like it, not because like it would actually be interesting for the story.
It made a clever tension though. Like the whole time I'm like, oh, Johnny's gonna mess up. He always messes this up. Please don't do this, Johnny.
Yeah.
That was my same
Carmen
thing.
and him have been building up like the whole season. So I'm like, please don't, Johnny. Please don't.
I agree. I think they handled that well. They teased it, but then they pulled it back and said, okay, we're not going to go that way. And I think there's no really need to bring her back, in my opinion. I think they've closed that book. Let's let that go. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Jesse, on Allie? That was probably the big reveal.
If she does return, I don't see a place for her in season 4. Doesn't make any sense. I liked how they brought her in, and I didn't think I would, because it was like, oh, it's a little one-off thing, but like less is more with her. I guess she was there for 2 episodes, but she was used to bridge the characters. Like you said, she was there to kind of put over Carmen as the actual love interest almost, and it helped, like as a bridge. It helped to bring Daniel and Johnny back together in a way where, like, oh, maybe we can work together. Like Johnny even refers to him as Daniel instead of LaRusso.
That was such a nice moment.
I know. And I think having the nostalgia nod of having them go to golf and stuff again with the montage, that was perfect. They helped.
Montage.
Yeah. They helped the old fans like me that said, okay, give me a little bit of the 1985 again or 84 again, but then let's go ahead and move on. And, you kind of spiced me up a little bit with the nostalgia. Now let's get to the young guys again. So,
right.
What about some of the characters they didn't bring back, like Aisha? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Aisha.
Yeah.
And
I think
Stingray.
they mentioned her.
They mentioned Stingray.
Oh my gosh. I was sad that Stingray wasn't there.
You were sad about Stingray?
Yeah, I love Stingray. He's great.
I do love Stingray, but I think somebody has to get in big time trouble for what happened. So I think he was a little bit of a scapegoat. Or what do you think,
yeah,
Jesse?
because he was at the school, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was at the school.
Yeah. And they basically said he can't be within certain he had like a restraining order on him after that. Yeah, I liked him in season 2, but he would not have fit the tone of this season. I was bummed that Aisha didn't return, but I knew that. I knew the casting news in advance that she was not returning for season 3. The writers just didn't feel like she fit the season for whatever reason, and it does make sense with the character and the way that she was established, that the parents would maybe see that and pull her, like, hey, you were involved in the Cobra Kai dojo, which was part of this thing, like. I always got that impression that her parents were very active in her life and in her schooling and sending her off to camps and that kind of stuff, like science camps and stuff. And so it's believable. It's still a bummer because she was a nice addition, like the female who can also kick butt, Samantha fulfilled that role and Tori fulfilled that role, but Aisha was a nice grounding force I feel like she could have been used well as like a counterbalance or a midpoint between the Tori LaRusso thing.
Sure. I agree. Yeah, I was a little disappointed to not see her, but at the same time, Jesse, I agree. I don't know how you would shoehorn her in with Eagle Fang, Cobra Kai, Miyagi. Where would you put her? Where would I don't know that she would side with Kreese necessarily.
That's a good point. And something that bothered me about initially, I don't know if it bothered me or if it worried me initially about season 3, that it is all over the place. I think they did a really good job funneling everything back together. But at the beginning of the show, it was there's so many little story threads happening. And I'm like, at first I was ADD a little bit, a
little lost.
I don't know what to pay attention to, but then they do really nicely funnel it all back in together.
Sure.
But at first I was like, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Ruth, what was your favorite little, like Jesse talked about, all the little pieces? What was one of your favorite little pieces of the storyline or scenes that you really liked from season 3?
I think one of my favorite things that they did with the story is bringing Amanda, Daniel's wife, into all of the karate drama. Because in season 2, in season 2, she was very Daniel, don't go do that, because she didn't actually really know what was going on, and she was kind of just annoyed at the whole situation. She tried to fix it herself, didn't work out very well. And it was just, I don't know, I liked how they made her, because I like her as a character, and I just like how they made her a part of like the main story instead of just out there and is there sometimes and doesn't really support Daniel and his karate dojo. So
she was kind of the nagging wife in season 1 and 2.
Season 2. Yeah.
2 in particular,
Yeah. So I think that's probably one of the highlights for me.
I also like that she wasn't always successful either, though. Like she got to see how difficult it is to actually destroy this grudge that had been building for decades.
Between Johnny and Daniel, in the car where she's like, "You do realize you're not cops, don't you?"
So she is so good at that. I love that dynamic of Daniel and Johnny, and then Amanda. Amanda brings them down to earth with a crashing thud.
What about you, Jesse? What was one or two little highlight stories that you really, really just loved or loved?
Really hard to pick one. Probably the Karate Kid 2 stuff in particular. Like, but it's such a microcosm. Like, it's just like it's almost like a pit stop in the middle of the season, almost, or not even the middle. Like, for maybe a third of the way through. I mean, like that was handled so beautifully. I already talked about that though, so I guess beyond that, it would be the return of Miguel and how Miguel not only he really takes on that Karate Kid mantle for Johnny, in that like not only is he having his own arc of like just getting back to the way things were, just walking, but then teaching Johnny quite a bit as usual.
Yeah. That training, one of the funny training scenes I have in the notes here was using the keg as a weight, and he's like getting beer out of the keg as he's doing sit-ups.
Yeah,
that's classic Johnny all
that.
the way. One of the scenes or parts was, I thought Hawk, when I watched it through once, and then the second time I couldn't watch the part where he breaks Dimitri's arm.
No, I can't watch that.
Then when he pounds the crap out of that one kid, and he kind of realizes I'm becoming the bully just like they were to me. And so I thought that was an interesting way to get Hawk to turn to go away from Kreese to Cobra Kai.
Yeah. I didn't think that was going to happen this season, though.
A lot of fun bait switches with this season, you think early on that Allie's going to show up as the surgeon because she's this miracle doctor from out of state, and she's blonde. She turns around and it's not her. You see Kreese in the flashbacks and you think he's obviously the football guy, but he's not. He's the kid that's working at the, cleaning up the diner.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I guess, what did you guys think of the Kreese origin story?
I didn't really. I guess it goes with Karate Kid, but I didn't really enjoy it that much because I feel like they just kept pushing blame on other things because they're like, the student is never bad, it's the teacher. So then they did that with like Kreese's backstory.
Yes, you're right. Good point.
I don't know. I guess I was fine with him as a character without a backstory.
Sure.
And having that in the show didn't really like add depth to the character for me. I still see him the same exact way as I did before. Like, I don't feel sympathy for him at all.
Clearly hadn't learned anything from it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really think, I don't know, it didn't add too much for me.
So you're kind of middle of the road. You're like, you could have taken it or left it. You're like,
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Jesse?
I agree with Ruth in a lot of ways because it's like, you see that he's had a terrible life, and essentially his response to that terrible life has been to become terrible too. Like his mom dies, his girl dies. He's seen the worst of humanity in war, and even in his superior officer, like his, who's in charge of him, his commanding officer, basically taught him to have no mercy, kind of thing. And he kind of snaps. What I'm hoping for with this is that maybe it'll carry over into the next season because they've planted the seeds of like, and maybe we'll get to this because you kind of hinted that maybe we talk a little bit about Karate Kid 3. That is not who oh, that's the other bait and switch. Terry Silver.
Yes.
We see Terry Silver in the flashbacks, and you think, oh, there's this guy with the ponytail, and that's got to be. I mean, spoilers, guys. We're spoiling this whole thing. But it's the ponytail guy, and you think, oh, that's got to be Terry Silver. It kind of looks like Terry Silver. It's not Terry Silver. You see Terry Silver, and he is not the boisterous, over-the-top, menacing individual that we know from Karate Kid 3. He's kind of a timid dude. That's just a twig, even. So I'm hoping that those flashback scenes will kind of inform the next season.
Yes.
And maybe we'll get more. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think that for me, the jury's still out.
I agree. I thought they addressed Kreese fairly well, but I kind of agree with Ruth. I found myself when they got to his little flashbacks, I kind of like, oh, okay. I kind of want to get back to Danielle and Johnny. But
it slows it down. It slows the story down.
It does stop it a little bit. So maybe they could have sharpened it up a little more, but I don't know that you would have been able to get the full background. So I don't. Yeah, I agree. I like the some of the fun little nods. Jesse, you mentioned Karate Kid 2 with the little tiny ice blocks at the bar.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I thought that was awesome. A wonderful way to do a little nod to the breaking of the ice without having it. So I can see Jesse having one of those at your house. So when people come over, hey, you want some ice? We need to get one of those.
Specifically frozen this ice into blocks so I can ice pick them or break all 6 at once.
Or break them off with your hands. What do you think about the Eagle Fang Dojo name?
That was so funny. That was awesome. I don't know. Like the most Johnny thing possible. And then somebody's, of course, going to try to correct him. He's like, quiet!
I love that. And this phrase when he's at the doctor showing the nurse all of his damage, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got a little jam in my lemonade. It's okay."
That's got a little fight. It usually clears up in about 2 to 3 days. But this has been really bothering me. That giant black bruise the size of his kidney and then some.
Oh, another fun scene was the fight in the car shop when they're trying to find Robbie. And him and Johnny working together, but then they end up getting in a fight at the end and stuff like that. I thought that was good. What do you think of how they handled Robbie? Talked about Miguel and everybody else. What about Robbie?
They didn't really do much with Robbie this season, which I thought was interesting because they've kind of been, I guess, working and building him up for the past few seasons, and he kind of just like sat in jail and got bullied and then joined Cobra Kai, and like that's pretty much all he did this whole season. But the one thing I will add that he did cut his hair, which I was very happy about because I like him with short
You didn't
hair.
like him with the long hair, huh?
No, it was like such a weird and awkward length. But I don't know, that's really all that happened with Robbie, I think. That's all I can remember.
As Jesse alluded to in our last episode, predictions, I'll tease that one a little bit. Jesse did say this was going to be a pick up the pieces type of season. So I think Robbie was part of that build up. And so that I think that's part of it. Okay. So talking about characters, I guess, Ruth, we know your least favorite character is Samantha. Is that still true?
It's somewhat true. I'm getting like a little bit more. I like her a little bit more, but she definitely lost me in that scene where she didn't help out her friends. I mean, it was supposed to show that she had like trauma from what happened at the school, but I don't know. It didn't make me like her anymore. That's for sure. But I did like the father-daughter moments they had with her and Daniel. That was really nice to see. But she's still not my favorite.
Well, okay, go ahead.
Something I do want to mention is, how did you guys feel about how Johnny stayed at the hospital while Miguel was getting his surgery instead of visiting Robbie?
Oh, yeah. How about you? You go first, Jesse.
Oh, I don't know. He was in a really tough spot in that moment. But yeah, like if he wanted to repair things with Robbie, That was the wrong move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I don't know how you say no to what's that character's name?
Carmen's mom. Is that
Yeah,
what's her-
Carmen's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose is the actress that plays her, but I don't know. I forgot what
I
her
can't
name
remember
is
her
in the
character name.
show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I agree. That was. I mean, I know why the writers did that. They kind of put a nail in the coffin between him and Robbie, but that was pretty
built
cold.
that neglect, like
Yeah.
even though Robbie the whole time is saying, "No, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you." He clearly that's when he needed them the most, and it's like you said. I think we were all supposed to forget about Robbie because everyone did.
Yeah.
And even later on when Robbie is out and he's slowly but surely checking in on other characters, you forget. And then there he is right there in the doorway, seeing Sam and Miguel picking up the pieces of a flirtation here. And it's like, well, of course, did you guys wait until I was, did you get back together right away or did you wait?
I agree. They had to show that nobody cared about him except for Kreese. But that makes it tough for us, the fans, to like Johnny. It's like, you're being a jerk to your kid. I mean,
Exactly.
Really? You're picking this kid. When Robbie says to him, "You've picked Miguel over me." And
Yes.
he can't deny that.
Right.
Yeah. It's just so hard to watch because you feel like Johnny's being a father to Robbie because he has to, because he's his biological son, not because he wants to. And he's more of going to Miguel as like a son in his life. Yeah. And I'm guessing he's doing that because he messed up with Robbie and Robbie hates him. But with Miguel really likes him. And, Miguel's in a sense, a way to start new with a son figure in his life.
Let's try it again. This is, fatherhood 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Jesse? What's your favorite character from season 3?
Favorite characters are tough. Obviously all the principal characters from the Karate Kid movies are, from someone that grew up with them, they're always going to be kind of the top tier for us, I think. Even Kreese, you love to hate that guy. You hate him, but he can't be your least favorite character because it's you're so invested in him, and in seeing him fail or seeing what he's going to do next. How's he going to get the drop on our heroes? Because he does at almost every turn. It's those three, and they're kind of tied as far as that goes. But as far as new characters, it's really evenly split this season. It's hard to pick your favorite. I think that again, Miguel is probably the most consistent character.
Yes, I agree.
Is Samantha your least favorite character, Jesse?
No. She, the trauma, the way that they deal with mental health while still picking fun at it at every opportunity. I think they do a pretty good job of pointing out that this would cause some trauma, and I believe some of the PTSD, panic attack kind of things that she could be going through, and I think that made her a lot less frustrating this season. She does have a lot of frustrating moments, though. She's like, "I'm going to train you guys on this side, and what could go wrong? I'm LaRusso's son.
I'm going to do it.
Daughter, I'm a chip off the old block for sure. I've got an idea, and I'm going to follow it through, even if it's not a good one."
Yeah. What about let's get to the fight scenes. Obviously the giant one at the end at the LaRusso's house, and then the one at the dojo with Johnny and Daniel and Kreese. I mean, that was the fight us old school fans have been waiting for. Daniel and Kreese and Johnny and Kreese. So what did you think about that, Jesse, the fight scenes?
It was really good. It's really hard to top that school fight, but people had been talking about there were some epic fights in season 3, and they weren't wrong. There were some good fights in season 3. Even the golf, not the golf and stuff, but the fight scene that was in the next door laser tag place. That was pretty cool. Even though it had that, the way it ends is kind of oh, that's awful.
Yeah. What do you think, Ruth?
I think the fight scene in the LaRusso's house is amazing. Literally, while I was watching it, I was like clapping and yelling and being like, "Yes, Miguel! Yes, Hawk! Yes!" Because like, and it's shot so well because it's shot in a different way than most action scenes are, where it's just it was like one continuous shot, which usually doesn't work for action scenes. I don't know if you guys have watched the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. Really bad movie, but a lot of the action scenes, mostly why it's so boring and slow, is because the action scenes are shot like in one shot and does not cut away. But in Cobra Kai, it's done super well because there's always something to look at. Like if you just glance around, there's someone in the background, and also it's constantly moving, so you're constantly seeing new people. But I did think it was like really stupid of Sam to go off on her own. And I was like, Sam, what are you doing? You should stay with the group.
Well, that was the fear thing. I think that's what they're trying to play off, is the fear factor. Switch to the Cobra Kai, Johnny, Kreese, Daniel fight scene. What did you think about that one? How about Jesse? What do you think about the final fight between Daniel, Kreese, and Johnny?
Well, touching back on the LaRusso one and with this one, so the one thing that kind of took me out of all the fights is that so in season 2 we get the big school fight, and one of the big watershed moments is that Dimitri throws Hawk into the trophy case. I think that went over so well in season 2 that they must have quadrupled the budget for Sugar Glass, because people are breaking through everything in season 3. They're breaking through car windows. They're breaking through storefront windows. They're breaking through coffee tables. They're breaking through. Everyone has glass everywhere.
Good point. I love that. So season 4, we need to order like triple the Sugar Glass.
Yeah, glass and ice and anything that breaks everywhere.
Good point.
But to your question about that final fight, it was fun. Shot similarly, but not. I think there were a few more cuts than the one, like the one continuous take shots that they were doing. But it was definitely dramatic. Like I said, they go through the snake logo on the front of the building.
Yes. Well, and on that fight scene at the end, I kind of knew that Daniel was probably going to come and save Johnny. But at the very end, when he has Kreese, he looks at Johnny, and Johnny gives him the nod and says, "Yeah, it's done. We're going to finish this." If it wasn't for Miguel and Sam, he probably would have killed him. That's kind of what they were implying.
Yeah, he had made that decision almost.
Yeah.
And that Johnny had co-signed it essentially.
I mean, we knew Kreese and Daniel. They alluded to it when Daniel showed up and talked to Kreese the first time. I mean, we all knew, that they're going to fight eventually, but I didn't know. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen this season.
Right.
But yeah, I love that. Again, a nod to the old guard. Let's get the old guys to fight again like we wanted to see in Karate Kid, 1, 2, and 3. And we got it.
Well, and even Bobby had some moves in this one, like I was kind of surprised to see Bobby return so quickly in season 3, and then he gets to sweep Johnny right in the middle of church. Super.
Yes,
awesome.
That was awesome. Again, another good nod to the old guys. So one thing that I did find that Amanda referred to Kreese as Rambo. He was in Rambo 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. Somebody pointed out to this on Instagram or someplace I read that Cobras always wear red and Miyagi always wears blue. All the characters wear red and blue. So when they get in a fight, the character colors are either mixed or they're wearing, like in the soccer game in the karate, in season 3, the Miyagi-Dos were blue and the Cobra Kais were red.
I noticed in the final LaRusso fight that Hawk had distinct coloring too, and that he seemed to have quite a bit more yellow. I mean, like a lot of the Cobras had yellow, but he had considerably more yellow than red in that fight.
And Hawk's hair has changed colors too, because it used to be blue, right? It started off blue, and now it's red.
Now it's red for Cobra Kai. Yeah,
it's all come together.
Yeah. I listened to our last episode where we made our predictions for season 3. So if you're listening to this now, we're experts and we know what's going to happen in the future. Because I'm going to humble brag a little bit, but we nailed several.
We kind of did. It's kind of spooky.
I'll go through them here. Jesse and me predicted season 3 would have some sort of Terry Silver illusion. We don't know at the end of season 3 if that's who he called. I guess, would you say that's probably accurate, Jesse?
I mean, if not, it's another incredible bait and switch because of how the flashback overlaid that phone call.
Yeah, I want to see.
They essentially set it up that way.
Now Ruth will kill me, but I watched Karate Kid 3 and I didn't hate it completely, but it did. And now that's probably nostalgia hitting me, and I just watched Cobra Kai season 3, so it's probably why. But I would not be disappointed to see Terry Silver. Just saying.
See, I don't hate it. It's just kind of boring.
That's what Jesse said. Jesse said,
Sorry.
you got 1 and 2. It just, but like I told Jesse that I like the fact that we didn't really have much of a love interest in Karate Kid 3, and they were able to really focus on Miyagi and Daniel. So that was nice. Yeah. If you're going to go out, you want it to go out with kind of those two, not the cliche girlfriend thing going on. So, but anyway, Ruth predicted Johnny and Daniel would get together at end of season 3. So
there we
congratulations,
go.
Ruth. Yeah. You nailed it. You nailed it.
The best musical moment of the season too.
Yes.
Oh yes, yeah. The Phil Collins, yeah. We've been waiting for this all our life. Yep. Jesse predicted Chosen would appear in season 3, and it would be, like I said, be more of a pick up the pieces type of season that they're going to get ready for season 4. I did predict that. Oh, one thing I did specifically say that going to Okinawa would help Daniel get balanced and reconnect with Miyagi. And that's literally what they did with that. So I got that one. We also, Jesse wants to see Mike Barnes.
Still do.
I do too. I want to see Mike Barnes and Silver maybe in season 4. Jesse, I guess for a prediction, if they bring Silver and Barnes back, what would you like to see them do in season 4?
So I wonder, as much as I want to see Mike Barnes come back, I wonder why he would come back, because he had a business arrangement with Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3. And I don't think that probably worked out the way that he thought it would. If it does, I don't know. Maybe he just continued to work for Terry Silver. I don't know. I'm curious what has been going on, because Terry Silver at one point in Karate Kid 3 is like, I bought 20 new locations for you. You're going to be the king of karate in the valley, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what is Terry Silver up to? Where is he still in the valley? I mean, it seems like we'd know if that was the case. LaRusso wouldn't have just slept on that,
No. I imagine maybe he got, I can see him maybe going to prison for embezzlement or for the illegal activities.
Oh God, yeah.
So that's where he's been the last 30 years.
Speaking of, one of the phone calls where he's on the phone and he's talking to a guy, and it's something Cove. And I was like, oh, Martin Cove.
Oh,
that's who plays Kreese. So
nice.
They snuck him into Karate Kid 3, I think.
Nice. So what about you, Ruth? What do you think? What are you looking for in season 4, or what do you think might happen?
I think I'm betting. I hope they keep Miguel and Sam together because I like that couple.
Okay.
And then I just have this weird feeling that they might put Robbie and Tori together. I don't know, because they've had a few talks with each other, but if they're gonna end next season, the whole series, I feel like they're just gonna pair everyone up. But I'm very interested to see how they're gonna deal with Daniel and Johnny, being senseis together, because even Sam and Miguel were our teaching styles are really different. This would never work. So I just don't know how it's gonna how they're gonna interact with each other.
Remember at the meeting they had sensei conflict resolution. Remember they had to figure out. Dimitri talked about. So they're already kind of alluding that there's going to be some conflict. So
That's true.
That'll probably be part of it. I imagine. I don't know how far they'll take it. I have a feeling they won't permanently break up, but there's going to be some fighting between Daniel and Johnny.
Oh yeah,
for sure. One thing I did hear some rumors on Reddit. What they might do is have LaRusso's lose their dealership, and that Daniel would kind of be like Johnny was in season 1. Down on his luck. Maybe have somebody said that they would like to see Amanda and him split up. I don't think the fans would put up with that. But I can see him maybe losing the dealership and kind of be like everybody else, lower middle class, and kind of be struggling a little bit.
Terry Silver being involved in that.
Yes, exactly. That's what I think. They might use him to cause him to lose the dealership, and they have to sell everything and kind of be a little bit down on their luck.
See, I'm not sure if they would do that just because they did spend last season trying to save the dealership.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so I don't know. They might. I don't know. But like, since they spent half of last season, trying to save the dealership, it would seem kind of weird for them to completely lose it.
Well, if we do see Terry Silver, Jesse, I want to see the red ascot that he wore at the tournament on Karate Kid 3. The ascot has to come back.
Or the satin gi that he works out in.
I want the okay, Jesse. Next, when they have the premiere for Cobra Kai season 4, you have to wear a red ascot, and then your wife can ask you. Your wife can ask you, "What are you doing?" I'm channeling my inner Terry Silver.
You have to put it on every time you watch it.
Yeah, every time you watch it, Jesse, you have to wear a red ascot.
Right under the beard, so no one can see it.
Exactly. Well, what about other predictions for you, Jesse? What do you think they might do, and what would you like to see them do in season 4?
I mean, obviously they're going to go to the tournament, so we're going to have a lot of tournament prep type stuff. I think that you hit the nail on the head. They're going to be dealing with the conflict of how do we teach. I'm trying to think of like other storylines that are probably going on. I'd like to see where this goes with Carmen. I think they're going to also be navigating this new love interest thing. I think that's going to create a conflict with Miguel, probably.
Yep.
What else? I'd like to see Anthony do more in this next season. Like Anthony
that's what I was
made a cameo and was gone.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what do you want to see? Do you want to see them do anything with Anthony?
I don't know. I mean, like, otherwise he's going to become another Robbie.
Yeah,
him and Robbie are going to be the forgotten sons of Cobra Kai pretty soon.
Well, here's who's going to be? Who do you want to see in the final tournament, Ruth? Who do you want to see face off in the tournament? Because they're obviously going to do it, but who do you want to see though?
I think I'm interested to see Sam in the tournament because she doesn't really. I don't know. She doesn't really do like a lot of not as much fighting as all the others, because we've seen Robbie fight, we've seen Miguel fight, we've seen Tori fight, but I think it will be interesting to see Sam in that kind of setting.
Maybe, do you think they'll have a female bracket and a male bracket, and we might see Sam and Tori?
Oh, they might do that. That would be interesting.
Then who would you? How about you, Jesse? Who do you want to see in the tournament?
I think that we've seen Robbie versus Miguel, and we've seen how that plays out. I think we will see that again, but I don't know that they'll be the final. I think it would be more interesting to see Tori versus LaRusso again, because they've never really resolved anything.
Oh, you're right. They've always been stopped kind of midway. Yep. Somebody was talking about online of maybe seeing Hawk and Robbie in the tournament.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I was like, oh, that's a good. And then I did see Tori. I that's where the female bracket
Tyler
idea
versus Hawk has to happen again.
Oh, okay, yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one thing they didn't address, at the very end, they said, "Hey, if I lose," Kreese says, "If I lose, I leave." But they never said what happens if LaRusso and Johnny lose. So if they lose, that's where the fan theory is then LaRusso loses his dealership, and then season 5 is more of a pick up the pieces.
I was going to say, like I was going to ask that question. Do you think they lose the tournament? Because if they win the tournament, this thing's kind of over. If
It is.
Reese just leaves, then there's no more seasons. So that makes season 4 kind of it. And I don't believe that. I don't believe season 4 is
that's where maybe Silver is the rich conniving guy, might have something going in the background. So another prediction I just thought of. Remember, I think it was in season 2, the All Valley, or maybe season 1, the All Valley tournament was having financial trouble. And in Karate Kid 3, Silver was a sponsor of the tournament.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So maybe he could come in and pay off the ref, or I don't know.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Huh. Just an idea. Which leads to another question. How many seasons do you want to see of Cobra Kai? Where's the cutoff for you think?
I don't want to see too many more seasons, because then we get into like Lost territory where like that show went on too long. Yeah. They added a couple seasons in there that didn't need to exist. Yeah. And I don't want to see that happen to the show because it's so good.
Yeah.
1 or 2 more seasons is probably.
I think I
don't see it.
Our last episode, we predicted we would like to see 3 more, so that'd be season 5. So maybe, so 4 and then 5 needs to be kind of it. Is that, what do you think, Ruth? Right.
Yeah, no, I think the exact same thing. I think I would be very satisfied for it to end after season 4, just because I feel like that's a very good way to wrap up the whole story, is either ending it all with Kreese, either defeating him or losing to Kreese. I think would be, I don't know, just like a very satisfying ending for myself. So I would be fine with just season 4, but depends on what they would do with season 5.
I was like Ruth, I was a little worried. I was like, I don't know how long the writing can be good, but season 3 is still good. So I would be happy with a season 5. I would not be, if it stays the way it's been staying. I do agree with Jesse. We don't need a season 8 and
season 15, like Supernatural.
It doesn't need to go 10 years. No.
Yeah. So I think maybe if they lose, maybe the LaRussos go back to New Jersey for a while. That'd be interesting. Maybe, I don't know. That could be something that. And so LaRusso leaves, and I don't know what would happen to Johnny. But I think 5 seasons is plenty. What about a spin-off series? Would you be interested in seeing a spin-off series where it's just the kids? Now that we've used the old guard to kind of get the new people over, and maybe have small little cameo appearances with Daniel and Johnny, but they would not be the crux of the story. What would
you call it? Karate Kai?
Karate Kai?
Yeah, maybe. It'd be fun to follow. I mean, I don't think that there's any plan for this, but it'd be kind of fun to follow Aisha to wherever she went.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go. I think I'd be interested in a Miguel, Sam, Tori, kind of just the young kids, maybe finishing high school, and just have, again, Johnny and Daniel making very minor appearances. Maybe. I don't know where the conflict would be, but I don't know. And again, even if they did a spinoff, I would not want to see that for very many seasons either.
Right.
1 or 2 seasons at the most with that.
People have been floating the idea that they would dig into Kreese's backstory even more and give him a spinoff. And I don't know. I mean, like, there's a lot of territory you could cover, but it would basically be Karate Kid Breaking Bad. Like, you know how that ends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that you can't really do that. I don't know.
Right.
I guess one of the other things I would like to see in season 4 is, like you said, the love interest between Johnny and Carmen, and maybe they get married, something like that. What about Tori? What we never did see. What would you like to see them do with Tori in season 4? Do you want her to stay with Kreese? She's obviously a pretty pivotal character at this point.
Yeah. I feel like they might turn her back to like good, because all of season 3, she was very she was painted as very much, I'm a bad guy. She only really had one moment when she was sitting with like Miguel at the cafe where she actually was like a character instead of just a bad guy, which kind of disappointed me because the reason why I like Cobra Kai so much is because the characters aren't always painted as the good guys or the bad guys oftentimes. Like usually, you know, you get annoyed with Daniel and then you get annoyed with Johnny and then you like Johnny and then you get so I really like how they make they paint characters both ways. But with Tori, it's very much like I'm angry and I'm a bad guy, and I think it would be nice to see a little bit more like variation with her. I feel like they're going to change her back to good, but I'm not quite sure.
I think Robbie is definitely being positioned to be the main bad guy for season 4.
Yeah.
Right.
In my
opinion. It would be fun if he stayed a bad guy. I think that would be interesting.
I think when they get to the end of the series, I think they'll turn Robbie back to good.
Yeah.
But and then it'll be kind of a mixed family with Miguel and Robbie and Carmen and Johnny, and of course you have Johnny's ex-wife that's sobering up. There's another question. Do you think they'll bring her in season 4 to have a little conflict between Carmen and her?
I think that will be Robbie's ultimate moral compass. Like he's always cared about his mom. Good point. Throughout the whole thread of this. If he bears any anger towards his mom, you know, he's much more quick to forgive her.
Okay. So do you think bringing her in might be a way to pull him back or add some more conflict? Do you think she'll be in season 4, Jesse?
I think it's likely. It just depends.
I was
it'd be strange to do his story without her.
I was kind of shocked to see her actually in season 3. I was like, whoa, she's sobering up. I'm like, wow, okay, they kind of really changed that character a lot. And of course they brought was it Homeless Lynn? Was her name?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Homeless Lynn. There we go. Yeah, it was Homeless Lynn. Yeah. So that was another fun.
Yeah, made a return.
Yeah.
That she was kind of fun.
Yeah. They really touched on everybody's buttons. They brought bringing the new young characters in. They brought Allie back and some of the old ones, and so they really do an excellent job of touching nostalgia, but pushing it forward and just very well written. You don't see a lot of properties that pull from the 80s that are able to make it exciting for the old people like us and exciting for the young people like Ruth. They were able to really mix the old and the new together. That's almost lightning in a bottle. I don't know that anybody can do that.
One of the characters I thought was interesting that they brought back is Kyler from season 1. Miguel's bully. I thought that was really out of the blue and random because I kind of forgot he existed.
I know, me too. I'm like,
wait, who's that? Oh, yeah.
And then they show the flashback. I'm like, that's that guy. Yeah.
It took me a while to figure out who it was because I'm like, he looks familiar, but I don't really remember. I think he only showed up in like the first few episodes of season 1.
Yeah.
And maybe he wasn't mentioned that much after that.
I don't remember him.
I think Sam broke up with him.
Yeah. After the lunchroom fight in season 1, he really just disappeared into the background.
That was a good call in bringing him back. That was a good way to
Hawk, to see him walk through the door.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see him and Hawk go at it actually because he was kind of the bully.
Ooh, that would be good.
But maybe the fact that he beat the crap out of his friend right in front of him, you could tell that was enough of Kyle to go, okay, we're not messing with Hawk. So that was. I like Kreese says, just gets ready to say finish him, and he's just wailing on him. And the fact that they don't pan down and show him, like he just got the crap beat out of him bad.
You don't see him again.
No.
That may not have made it. We don't know.
Yeah.
Did anybody check on Rux? No one knows if he's alive.
Yeah. Exactly. So, well, hey, I think we can put a pin in this, guys. Any last thoughts about Cobra Kai 3?
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it.
How many times?
It was definitely more exciting than I thought it was going to be.
How many times have you watched it, Jesse?
all the way twice, and I would say like a little bit. I've watched a couple episodes like 3 times.
Yeah, I watched the final episode I think 3 times, and then I've watched all of them twice. How about you, Ruth?
You guys are overachievers. I've only watched it once.
You'll watch it.
Is very nice.
Well,
That's a nice
now that I know that you guys have watched it more than once, I'll also watch it more than once.
The real challenge for Ruth is watching Karate Kid 3.
Ugh, yeah.
Or like Jesse.
Yeah, are they going to bring in Julie? Are they?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know. Is Julie going to come in?
Well,
I don't know. I doubt it.
Somebody had theorized the next Karate Kid bringing her in from Karate Kid 4, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I don't know.
I don't know. 'Cause I don't think that movie did well.
A few Miyagi tricks that Daniel never learned. Who knows?
Yeah.
Chosen clearly knew.
There we go.
So.
Yeah, there you go. Do you think there's another idea? Do you think maybe in season 4 or the final season, do you think they'll pull Chosen or maybe bring some of these other, maybe Allie or some of these other characters back just for kind of a final hurrah?
I don't think we'll see Allie again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they plopped her into the story and she's out
Maybe
for the rest
Freddie
of
Fernandez. From
Or,
I don't know why.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. We'll call it good here, but we'll do it again next year. We'll see how many predictions came true for next year.
All right.
Well, hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great time talking with Jesse and Ruth about Cobra Kai. I love the show. They love the show as well. If you love the show, let us know. Go to covertnerd.net and see all the different ways you can get in touch with me about this episode and previous episodes. Reach out to me and let me know what you think. And until next time, nerd it up.
I didn't want to derail the talk, but there was one point, and I'm curious if this will come up, and I'm surprised I didn't talk about it more in season 3, where Miyagi says in Karate Kid 3 that eventually you won't do my karate, you'll do your karate.
Oh.
So I wonder if that'd be a great flashback if they decide to use it. I mean,
that's true.
I assume we'll see more flashbacks from Karate Kid 3 in this next season.
Yeah.